Can the kids from Lyman start it? No? All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, a nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So they're all in the back.
I think I don't blame them.
Yeah. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
The second, any comments, changes, edits? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 3, presentation by Lyman third graders on frog research. Get the pictures.
When you're ready. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, administrators, teachers, families, and community members. We are all third graders at John Lyman School. Third graders have worked hard becoming scientists, researchers, writers, and presenters through their frog research projects during the EL Literacy Unit titled Adaptations in the Wide World of Frogs. They explored the fascinating world of frogs by asking questions, conducting research, reading informational texts, and learning about frog habits, life cycle adaptations, and their unique species from around the world. Along the way, we practiced important skills, including critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and public speaking. We are very excited to share what we learned with you tonight. My name is Jacoby Morton. Third graders researched and wrote essays about frogs. We published our essays into frog books. Here is my frog book about red-eyed tree frogs. I want to share with you my paragraph about their habitat. The red-eyed tree frog lives in a specific environment. You can find them in Costa Rica. The red-eyed tree frog lives in a rainy environment in the canopy of the rainforest. Clearly, the tree frog has a wet environment. My name is Finley Lalosa. Here is my frog book about the poison dart frog. I want to share with you my paragraphs about the adaptations and habitats. Did you know that the poison dart frog has some awesome body adaptations? The poison dart frog has a variety of colors on its body. It is 1 to 6 centimeters long and weighs only 1 ounce. One of its survival secrets is that its bright colors warn animals that it's poisonous. Another survival secret is that the bright colors sometimes help them blighted. Now you know some magnificent facts about the poison dart frog's body. Did you ever wonder about the poison dart frog's habitat? Well, I'm going to teach you all about it. Poison dart frogs live in the rainforest of Central and South America. It is warm, humid, misty, and cloudy in the rainforest they live in. The poison dart frog spends most of its time hopping around the rainforest in trees and on the ground. As you can see, the poison dart frog has a wonderful and interesting habitat.
Is there a picture of a poison dart frog here?
Mm-hmm.
I come close to this table so we can hear better. Thank you.
I am Bromley Whitehouse. This is my essay written about the poison dart frog. I want to share with you my paragraph about what they eat. A poison dart frog eats many different things for different reasons. They eat beetles, ants, and moths. What they eat is what makes them be able to be poisonous. My name is Cynthia. I study the wood frog. Here is my paragraph about the wood frog's adaptations from my essay. Did you know that the wood frog freezes the winter and thaws in the spring because it makes its own antifreeze? The wood frog creates a mix of urine and blood to create its own antifreeze. The wood frog can stay frozen for many months because of its antifreeze. When the vanilla weather warms up, the frog shoots up to 20 to 10 hours to unfreeze. As it unfreezes, the water goes back into its cells. The wood frog is about 1 to 3 inches long in size. It also lays a ton of gel-like eggs in rivers. The frog can survive a body temperature of 21 degrees. Did you also know that the wood frog's skin is mostly for breathing and absorbing water? In conclusion, even though the wood frog's adaptation when they freeze is weird, but it's still cool.
Hi, my name is Mason Evans. I studied the bullfrog. Here is a paragraph about the bullfrog. The bullfrog is an amazing creature. It has many interesting adaptations that help it survive. In this essay, you will learn about the bullfrog's diet, body, and habitat. You will also learn some fun facts. Get ready to be amazed by the amazing bullfrog. I'm going to teach you about the American bullfrog's diet. The bullfrog eats anything such as rodents, birds, fish, snails, bats, and snakes, as well as other frogs. Last of all, their predators are humans, river turtle, snake, and some other fish too. That is the diet of the American bullfrog.
My name is Sophia Caramanello. Third graders use what we learned to create frog trading cards. The frog I studied was a poison dart frog. On my trading card, a cool fact I included was poison dart frogs are as small as your thumbnail. Hi, my name is Kingsley Trauma. This is my trading card about Goliath frogs. Did you know that Goliath frogs can eat bats, birds, and other small mammals? They're the biggest frog in the world. You can find them in Africa. My name is Reagan Mortensen. This is my trading card about glass frogs. Did you know glass frogs are transparent and only about the size of a quarter?
I did not.
My name is Natalia Ciccarelli. As part of our project, we had a choice of how to show a visual representation of our frogs. Some students used a new method of black glue to draw their frogs. Others used a fast-dry clay to sculpt their frogs and create their habitat using tissue boxes. My model shows a strawberry poison dart frog. You can see that this frog has a very bold colors. It uses these colors to warn predators. Hello, my name is Riley Thody. Another way we shared our research about frogs is by using a fictional literature writing genre called the pourquoi. Pourquoi means why in French. A pourquoi story tells why something in nature is the way it is. All third graders use the facts they learned to write a pourquoi. I want to share the beginning with my pourquoi with you. Why golden dart frogs are golden by Riley Thody. Long, long ago in a rainforest lived two golden dart frogs named Bev and Betty. Bev was kind and nosy, and Betty was patient and lazy, and all wanted to be friends with Bev and Betty. One day, Bev and Betty were playing outside, and then when Betty spotted a butterfly and started chasing after it, and Bev ran after Betty because Bev is nosy, and soon Betty caught the butterfly and shared it with Bev. But then Betty realized they were trapped in a flower field. Help, help, Bev shouted, but no one could hear her. Then Betty tried to jump to see the way out, but she couldn't jump so high. But then Bev heard running water and followed the noise and found a river. Then Bev and Betty both at the same time, they jumped onto a lily pad and landed. As they were floating downstream, Bev and Betty looked at each other and yelled at the same time, "You're golden," they yelled. They were covered in pollen, but they didn't know. When Bev and Betty got home, everyone wanted to be their friend. But Bev and Betty said no because they didn't accept us before. So the only friends Bev and Betty had were each other. That is why golden dart frogs are golden. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed hearing about our frog research and different projects we completed during this meeting.
Can we have everybody come back?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I have a couple
I was
questions.
gonna say, I need to know more about it, but go ahead, Mr. Chair.
Is one of you related to a board member?
Yes.
Could not tell.
Can you guys hold up the front of your things and see the pictures like that?
Nice.
I feel like some of you had pictures on them and they were really nicely done.
Yeah, and who knows what a bullfrog says? Can you say it?
What?
You act like a bullfrog? This sounds better. And how do they catch bugs? With what?
Their tongues.
Oh. Do you ever try to catch anything with your tongue?
Yeah, not even a snowflake, that's good. All right.
Need to have a question.
I do, I have two questions for anybody. One is, always wondered, I don't know if you studied this. What's the difference between a toad and a frog? Oh, yeah, I love, firsthand, sorry, I'm happy that so many hands went up, but yes, what you learned, what you got?
A toad lives on land most of the time. A frog lives underwater and it has scales from a toad.
Huh, amazing.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything to add? Or was that what you were gonna say too? Go ahead.
Usually a toad only has like bumps, and a frog doesn't usually have bumps.
Okay. Yeah.
Toads are bigger than frogs somehow most of the time.
I always thought that toads were littler. Yes, sir.
And that all toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads.
I love that.
They-
You just made your teacher so happy. And then just out of curiosity, like I love frogs. My favorite frog is a peeper, right? Because you know it's spring when you hear them. But why are frogs important?
They almost have less insects.
Okay, all right.
Because if we didn't have frogs, there would be too many flies in the world that they would take over.
Wow, good to know.
They're really nice to people.
Awesome. All right. Like, would they make me coffee in the morning?
If you taught them to use their tongue to push on the button, then maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Skills right there. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Good.
I just want to say kudos to the third grade teachers.
Absolutely,
because
I was just gonna
not
say
only
that.
is it a fabulous project, but they're well prepared
Yeah.
and able to answer
Yeah,
questions.
that's great.
Very nice job to the third grade.
Thank you.
teachers.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did you go look for frogs outside when you were doing this? Not yet.
Leave my phone, library.
Really?
The ponds right there.
Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
No, but just the dog brings. So I've had live frogs. I have said the dogs are playing. And I've had dead ones, and now we should start the meeting like that.
Good. Any, thank you all for coming. The next item is our scholarship recipient. I think for the parents in the room every year, the members of the board scrounge up some money and try to give it to a student who exemplifies the core ethical values of the school. And this year we picked Charlotte Young. And
So I'm gonna speak so she doesn't have to. But she's well deserving of this, just something very short. So,
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I have a long one, but.
I know you do, yours is longer than mine, do you wanna read the one you read at scholarship night?
No.
I changed it a little bit. So tonight we recognize the Board of Ed scholarship recipient Charlotte Young for her outstanding achievements and remarkable growth throughout her high school career. Not only does she follow the core ethical values every day, even when she's teasing me, Charlotte's journey is a testament to perseverance, determination, and resilience. Entering high school, wanting to do better in her work, she worked diligently to strengthen all of her skills and making significant gains. She was able to successfully exit any support she had in the younger grades and thrive independently in high school. Her hard work is reflected in her impressive 3.66 GPA. Beyond academics, Charlotte has been an active member of our school community throughout her involvement in Eco Club, class council, and Educators Rising. She has also balanced two jobs, not just one, but two jobs as a camp counselor and a hostess, demonstrating exceptional responsibility, time management, and leadership. Known for her kindness, maturity, and genuine compassion for others, Charlotte consistently makes a positive impact on those around her. As she pursues her future studies in social work or psychology, have you decided yet?
Social work.
Social work. We know she will continue using her talents to help and inspire others. Congratulations, Charlotte, on all you have accomplished and on the bright future ahead of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you can ask her all your questions.
Can I ask the first question?
Oh, go ahead.
After you finish your social worker degree, do you ever think about maybe working in your old school district?
Maybe, I don't know. I have to see where the wind blows me, but it's definitely not out of my mind.
It's cool. I worked in the school that I went to, and it's cool to show up and call everybody by their first names.
She already does.
What are your plans for next year?
I'm going to Southern and I'm going to the social work path. Mhm.
Where are you working at camp?
I'm working at camp this summer and then
Camp
no, it's Middlefield Park and Rec.
Uh,
Yeah, and then, I'm gonna be working at Hard Hat a little bit over the school year, but not too much, so I can focus on school. Thank you.
And she wrote us a very nice thank you letter that's passed around, but thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
really
you.
happy to give it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we'll see you Friday night.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations and good luck. The next item is Kevin.
Thank you, Bob.
Not retiring, but it's gonna talk about retirement.
Yeah.
You already did that.
So as part of our annual June board meeting, we recognize employees in the district who are retiring at the end of this year. And this year we are recognizing 3 regional school district 13 employees. The first employee who is not able to attend this evening is Doug Whippler. Doug is a job coach at MTA, and he's been in that role since 2013. As a job coach, he provides support to students at MTA. He guides them at work, assists them with life skills training, and is a very, very integral part of the program at MTA. So Doug will certainly be missed as he enters the world of retirement. Second person we'd like to recognize is Cheryl Warner. Cheryl joined the district in 2023 and has served as a teaching assistant at Brewster School. I would now like to ask my colleague, Mrs. Deb Murray, to come up and just say a few words about Cheryl.
So today, I have and we have the privilege of celebrating a truly remarkable member of our Brewster family as she begins her well-earned second retirement. When she joined Brewster 3 years ago as a teaching assistant, she immediately demonstrated the selflessness and commitment that have defined her career. When we asked if she would return to the classroom to teach kindergarten, after winter break for a few months, she accepted without a moment's hesitation. Thank 2 minutes. From that moment on, she was always willing to help wherever she was needed as an assistant, never hesitating to put students and colleagues first. She has been the very definition of reliability, patience, and positivity. As both a retired teacher and an exceptional teaching assistant, she brought unparalleled classroom wisdom, deep empathy, and a calm, steady presence that made every classroom better. Her impact on Brewster and our district has been immeasurable, and we are so grateful for the care and commitment she has shared with our school community. She was also a trusted mentor and sounding board for teachers, generous, sharing her expertise, offering thoughtful advice, and providing unwavering support. No matter how busy or chaotic a day may be, she became a calming force for those with kindness and professionalism, elevating everyone around her. As you begin this next chapter, again, we wish you many happy years, enjoying your time with your husband, your children, your grandchildren, Camp Nerdin this summer.
and making memories and embracing all the joys retirement has to offer. Thank you for your years of service and everything you've done.
And Cheryl, we have a gift. So I'm gonna scurry right up here and
Kevin,
you're welcome.
appreciate it.
I just wanted, you're welcome, and I just wanted to add what a gem Cheryl is, and whenever you can hire a teaching assistant with about, I won't say how many, a lot of years of teaching
Okay.
experience. It is just exceptional, so we were very privileged to have Cheryl join us in her time here at Brewster School, and as Mrs. Murray said, we wish her all the best.
Yeah, future.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all your work.
Okay, our third retiree, you better get used to that term now. Joined Regional School District 13 in 2005 as a phys ed teacher at Memorial School. Greg Marone worked in the district for over 20 years, and here to say a few words about Mr. Marone is Mr. Dave Kimball, the principal of Strong Middle School. Right?
Yeah. So we got out of the way that you've been here for 20 years. 19 of them at Memorial, a year at Strong. To truly understand this man's impact, you simply need to walk beside him throughout the day. You need to walk down the halls of the middle school, and you need to see every kid from 5th grade to 8th grade stop in their tracks to give you a high five, to give you a hug, to scream your name down the hall, even though I'm standing right next to you, right? On all of those things, to see your colleagues pause and make sure that they said hello to you. The ones that you always reach your hand out to every day to make sure that they're okay. You're always making sure that everyone around you has what they need, and it shows in everything you did. It's been such a great privilege to be able to just walk beside you this year and the impact that you've had. Those kids that have stopped all year, you're with them forever. Like you're gonna a part of their life. No 8th grader just stops and looks back at his 5th grade gym teacher and says, oh, whatever. I mean, they dead stop. They give you a hug and they want to be around you because you had that contagious energy. What you've done in this district in the 20 years is remarkable. Thank you. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you. I gotta get a hook.
Now, do you want to see what we practice? Right?
I have this with me, cause I, and
Great, what did you say? Go ahead. Hi. Will you say hi? Look at your feet. My name is what I say. I miss strong. I was my fine teacher. He is fine, silly, dummy. And thank you for including me. You are the fine. Cameron wanted to say something too, once she knew Mackenzie was saying something, if that's
of
okay.
course. That's okay.
She wrote it down.
Hi, my name is Cameron. Mr. Malone was one of my teachers for 3 years. You're more than just a teacher. You're kind, helpful, funny, and smart. You survived many decades of students. Enjoy your freedom. Congratulations on any outstanding 5 years of teaching. School's dismissed for you forever. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you to my mentor, because he actually, the back row over here, my mentor. I can't say enough about District 13. I'll be back.
We know you'll be back.
Signed up to be a substitute teacher. You can't say no to his old principal.
My wife's here, so we can.
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you, everyone. I really do appreciate the support and everything that everyone has done here. Cause I know how hard it is to be in your position too. And we always make sure we keep the kids first.
You'll have to, come back and see the new gym.
I would
And-
love to be invited to that day.
You'll be invited.
Thank you.
It'll
I
be a
love
great time.
I would love that. Thanks, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. I get a hug from you. Yes.
Going back 50 years ago, I knew of Greg Marone, but he did not know me. But he was the coolest dude around at Lake Bezic because you lived there in the summers, correct, Greg?
Yeah.
Why was he cool though? Yeah, he's a great person, as we all know now, but
Yeah.
you were known for your car. Here comes Greg Marone in the, what was it?
I had a Bronco or I had.
Yeah, Broncos are hot now, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanna say schools are better places with the Doug Whipplers, the Cheryl Warners, and the Greg Marones of the world. I mean, they make Regional School District 13 what it is, so we wish them all the best. Thanks.
There's a great big cake over there. So
Lots
take-
of cake.
Take, you say, bring it home. All right, take a lot of cake.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Every time I walked in from Memorial School, Greg was always there. And said hello, the first person I see.
I do want to say publicly that Meg said if I am in trouble, if any of that cake returns to the office. So there's plenty of ways to take it home if you don't want to eat it there.
Send it to Leah last week about the zone, we talked about the zones.
Okay.
We also have some board members who are retiring, sort of leaving. And I would like to start with Maura, and Christine will be a little proclamation.
My kids are like,
You want some people to come by?
fans on YouTube.
Do you want Sophia to be here?
She's gonna stay there, they're gonna just stay for a night, thank you though. Do you want to stay like No, really. Don't even have to read it right now. I know you took your time with that.
We'll walk to the basketball.
Well, I just like know what adjectives you guys all use for me.
Take,
I actually want to see the original. We'll read the next one. For there. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like they're like going like by themselves. Like completely. So, this one around.
They went to the cake.
Go ahead.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So Regional School District 13 Board of Education, Durham and Middlefield. Be it known by all those present that on this date, Mrs. Maura Caminello, Distinguished Board of Education member since 2019, is duly recognized and acknowledged for her dedication to the children and citizens of Regional School District 13. And whereas Maura, having served with honor, hereby concludes this challenge for the responsibility of educating our youth. Be it known that these words, that her deeds and good sense will be long remembered by her peers, the towns of Middlefield and Durham, and indeed our children. And whereas Maura served this district as Board of Education member, Maura brought the unique perspective of a dedicated educator, ensuring that decisions were thoughtfully considered through the lens of student access and staff support. Her constructive input will long be remembered as a guide for those that follow in future public service. And whereas Maura always looked out to control expenses, prevent waste, and focused on the well-being of districts and district students, and whereas Maura demonstrated her tireless work ethic on many subcommittees for this board, including finance, human resources, policy, safety, and student achievement, and whereas Maura is respected contributor to the Board of Education. Therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of Regional School District 13 Board of Education, on this 10th day of June 2026, Maura Caminello, and encourage others to do the same and join us in recognizing a woman who made a difference in the success of this school district and the advancement of its mission. All of this with our sincere gratitude for your years of unselfish service. By your actions, you have distinguished yourself and brought great pride upon your community, our schools, and hundreds of children that will remember you for all the good work you have done. Signed, Robert E. Moore, Chairman.
Or you're welcome to say anything, or just,
Thank you very much. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve for Middlefield for like since 2019. And yes, and to advocate for the families and educators of the town. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do remember more when, I
Yeah.
do remember when, outdoors for a town meeting, to have you be elected to another term outdoors. What an eerie time it was, but we made it through, and
Yeah.
all those Zoom meetings,
Yeah.
hiring superintendents and all, yeah, so, thank you.
Now we have another hiring, Jamie, and Lucy will.
Okay, Jamie. Be it known by all those present that on this day, Mr. James Warback, Distinguished Board of Education member since 2017, is duly recognized and acknowledged for his dedication to the children and citizens of Regional District 13. And whereas Jamie, having served with honor, hereby concludes this challenge for the responsibility of educating our youth. Be it known that by these words that his deeds, his positive manner, and enduring good sense will be long remembered and cherished by his peers, the towns of Middlefield and Durham, and indeed our children. And whereas Jamie served this district as a Board of Education member, his obvious and sincere regard and concern for students, his faithful attendance at board and committee meetings, his insightful comments relevant to board topics and discussions, the fact that the board could always depend on him to be there when needed, will long be remembered as a guide for those that follow in future public service. And whereas Jamie readily shared his relevant, and I didn't put it in here, but it's and engaging personal classroom experiences and insights to discussions, was friendly and genuinely concerned about and interested in other board members, and you could always depend on him to help when there was a need. Whereas Jamie demonstrated his tireless work ethic by attending most subcommittee meetings, even if he was not a member, and by serving on many subcommittees for this board, including educational resources, policy, school district climate, student achievement, utilization, and well-being. And whereas Jamie is a respected, admired leader and member for many years on the Board of Education, therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the Regional School District 13 Board of Education, on this 10th day of June, 2026, celebrate James Warback and encourage others to do the same and join us in recognizing a man who made an extraordinary difference in the success of this school district and the advancement of its mission. All this is with our sincere gratitude for your many years of unselfish service. By your actions, you have distinguished yourself and brought great pride upon your community, our schools, and hundreds of children that will remember you for all the good work you have done. Robert E. Moore, Chairman.
That was quite generous, thank you. I didn't do that much, but.
We're going to miss back in the day.
Well, yeah, you have to. I did give you another one tonight, didn't I?
Yeah.
I did enjoy my time as a student in District 13, the entire time from K through 12. And like the people, it's all about the people that influence you, whether it's a teacher in the school system or just somebody in the community, because it's more than just a school system, and it has to be the whole community together. That's what really makes it special, I think. But I enjoyed every little moment of it, and from beginning to end. And one of the best parts of it was finally meeting the kids from Durham at high school. We did not know, and I think it's a hugely positive thing that we're gonna have that experience, and I think it's gonna make a more cohesive community overall. So that's huge, really. And I just wish for every student that we have here had the same experience that I had, because I felt well prepared upon graduation for college or career or both. And then upon graduation from college, I came back home. Had to come back home. And I felt really, really good. So yeah, I have nothing but thanks for the entire district. So it's giving back.
Thank you for your.
Thank you for being part of our board.
We get to keep the cushion. Oh, go ahead.
Can I keep my cushion?
Oh, that's okay. I'm just gonna.
Or at least put like a little,
Your name.
kind of like.
Yeah, Caleb too.
Before we skip to the next one, I just have one other exciting announcement. We did tell about 50 people yesterday, so I'm sure it won't stay quiet for much longer. That's my guess. But Kevin and I had the very proud experience yesterday of announcing the Regional School District 13 Teacher of the Year. And we've got a lot of people who can say the name. We have the principals right here and Kevin, who wants to say it?
I'll defer to the principals.
Noel, you should probably do it.
Can I just say?
Yeah. Okay.
It's just being Cardi.
I will say again that when we had the announcement in leadership team, I was sitting next to Noel and my ear still has a little issue from the screaming of excitement that went with it. So we're all really excited. So what's going to happen from here is Kevin's going to make more of an announcement. And then we will, like we did this year, we'll have a bigger celebration with the board in the fall for Jess to come in.
Yep. Okay.
And I'll just echo what Sydney said. It was good that nobody was in close proximity to Noel because they would have sustained bodily injury. Our excitement with the announcement of our Teacher of the Year. So
Well-deserved response though.
to say she was enthusiastic would be an understatement.
So thank you all. Sophia, you're leaving?
I didn't hear, thanks for the cake. I'm not
Take
leaving.
cake.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, take lots of cake.
Take cake, big cake.
Big cake.
All right, the next, thank you both for your service. I think, you know, the board is happy to have you on, both of you on for such a long time.
Yep.
It's been great. We had some interesting times. And the numbers in 3.5 superintendents.
Am I the half?
No, you're the third. So that's. Next is restorative practices and empathy in art. And Amy.
Amy, so we've been, we're excited. I'll do the big picture.
You do it, do
The
it, do
big
it, do it.
picture is,
That would be helpful.
we're excited to really start connecting with the community about our core ethical values. And we started with kindness, but with a specific focus on empathy. The first step towards kindness is really empathy. So each of the art teachers is doing an empathy project in their art class. And there will be one piece of art that will be very proudly displayed in one of our local businesses in Durham and Middlefield for the entire year next year.
Yeah.
Take it away.
All right. First, I have to say about Maura and Jamie that I think right around 2000, I don't even know when it was, when I first was started to do some subcommittee work for the board, and I was always with Jamie. That's where I met Jamie. And then Maura when she came on in 2019, and they have been like a friendly face, and Bob, but a friendly face that I always could count on when I came to the board meetings or any subcommittee meetings. And especially Jamie has been my champion for since I've known him. So I want to thank Jamie.
Well, you
I was very
commanded
sad. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you as well. So
Well, you schooled 80 tech school teachers as well. That was the very beginning of our training
Mhm.
in restorative practices, and that was awesome.
and you were a huge support, so I appreciate that and all that you've given back to the district. So yes, when Sydney asked the art teacher to do this, of course I was a little but I already have my curriculum and I have to fit this in. But I have to say that one, connecting anything, when anybody asks me to connect anything to restorative, I'm on it. I want to do it. I do it already, but I want to show people how easy it is to, anything's connected to it. Art to music to social studies, science, anything. So I jumped right on it, but I was a little how am I going to do this and do it impactfully and meaningfully and present to the board and all that. But what happened next really impacted the entire
rest of my quarter. So I've had eighth graders, and you try to explain empathy to a bunch of 13-year-old, 12, 13-year-old boys. It is not the easiest thing. Plus, have it connect to their art and talk about it. Because the biggest thing was I wanted them to explain it in an artist statement. And they heard that and were like, I don't think so. But we worked slowly to it. It took like 3 weeks to get to the actual project. But I really asked them to really immerse themselves more about what they were creating first. I wanted it to be an impactful art piece that they had to carve, and they learned about printmaking and really connect to that. Because if they weren't connected to their art, they weren't going to be connected to the empathy and connected to me in the project. So that was the first part. Then they amazed me. I want to just kind of read a couple quotes from what a couple students did from a couple of these pieces here. So like one student created a sun. I think it's on here. It is this one down here. And the student wrote, she created an image of the sun with a calm, happy exterior, a chaotic interior, explaining that people often hide what they are truly feeling. She wrote, this shows what we show the world versus what we hide. My piece connects to empathy because if we understand what people aren't always what they show, even if you don't know what someone's going through, we still have to understand what we show through empathy towards everyone. And then another student wrote, my design represents empathy because like the sun, empathy embraces the light that warms everything it touches. It serves as a reminder that a little warmth, empathy, can illuminate and comfort those around us. When I read these, I was like, wow, like it was pretty impactful. So it really did spark like meaningful conversations and things that I've heard them talk about through the whole quarter. So they would actually hear maybe somebody say something unkind, and they would say like, you're not in their shoes. Like, you don't know what they're going through. And I was like, I was jumping around like they did with their kids. So this is what something else said. What surprised me the most was the language of empathy did not end with the project. The concepts following throughout the quarter, students would use phrases like someone, walking in someone else's shoes. They would point out actions like that wasn't very empathetic. So instead of saying that wasn't kind or that wasn't nice, they really used the word. The project gave them a common language and framework for understanding one another, which restorative does. If we use that common language that restorative gives us, they'll use it. They want the language. I talk about it all the time with my tennis team. I want them to use tennis vocabulary, so I have to use it and teach them how to do it, and the same with restorative. So as an art teacher, I often see students express ideas visually that might not be able to share them out loud. But with this project, I think it provided a safe space for students to communicate feelings, experiences, and perspectives that otherwise remained hidden. It also allowed classmates to learn about one another in ways and foster a strong sense of connection. We did a lot of sharing. The first 3 weeks were really just talking in circles and sharing our artwork and connecting to other people's artwork. So it really reinforced the restorative practices when it's integrated authentically into learning. And I think that's really what not to toot my own horn, but I think throughout the years of, now going almost on 10 years with restorative, I've learned how to do it authentically and not feel like it was forced. Empathy is when empathy is not simply a concept to teach in a week. It is a skill that strengthens relationships, builds trust, and helps create a culture where students feel seen, heard, and valued. And so does restorative. Through art, students were able to explore empathy in a personal way, and the impact extended well beyond the finished work. So I think that's pretty much it. Any questions? And you got my slideshow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
great.
So yeah, that was, you just read them and you were,
Yeah.
and I gave
You did.
and again, I'm not an English ELA teacher by any first, but all I gave them were sentence starters. I kind of was like, I feel, I understand, empathy means. Those are the 3 I gave them, and was like, I need it to at least it has to be more than 3 sentences. And I was like editing them. I'm like, I don't have this much space on a slide. So they really took it away from there.
And I just want to give Amy a lot of kudos, because as soon as I kind of threw this idea out there to the art teacher, she was like, oh, me, like.
Yeah, because I knew I needed to start the quarter with it,
Mhm.
that this was gonna be the framework for the quarter. If I did it right and if the kids bought into it, it would be a better quarter with them. And it was a nice way to introduce my, I do my restorative agreements in the beginning of each quarter, and it made those a little bit more impactful after doing this. It just kind of all was seamless in a way.
So what's gonna happen when you do respect and courage and?
I know, I think that it's a great, I could do this project over and over again, just changing the theme, doing one with printmaking with courage and it was, they could choose something non-objective. They could do an abstract work. They could do a realistic work. So it was very successful artistically. They had all the different, types that they could do, but so they didn't feel like, oh, I don't know how to draw. Well, you could do something non-objective using just lines and shapes and whatnot. So that was, I think, a plus too to it. But I love what Ryan's doing, what Ryan Bothamley is doing. He's doing batiking with his students, and the things they're writing on their batiks to make a huge quilt is gonna blow
as a giant
you away. I mean, this thing blew me away, but the giant quilt's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, the businesses will be fighting over.
They'll be fighting over that quilt.
It won't be done until it's fall.
In the fall.
That's gonna take a while, yeah.
Well, the patches are there, I've seen them.
They're
Yeah.
inside drying.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, again, when I first was like, oh, when your superintendent tells you to, you gotta do it, but it was really, it was, I'll do anything, but it was really a good project. I'm glad you put it out there for us. And I think the art teachers were a good way to start.
I love
And
hearing, we're all on the email thread together. And I love seeing all the messages among all of the art teachers about this. It's really fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Ready to have a great summer.
Just in addition to that, I'm not gonna say anything, but I just did give you an overview of what happened with restorative practices this year and where we think we might go next. It's in the.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
The next is, F, purpose vision planning draft.
Okay, just give me 1 second to share my screen. I'm actually gonna stand up to present for a minute. I did make it very short. You all have this draft, but this is the first public presentation, so this is the big reveal. This is, the year's work, literally, of creating purpose, vision, and plan for Region 13. Actually, even in my interview for this position, I was asked to talk about how I would go about this process. So here we are, and, okay, I don't have that, anybody. So. Am I not close enough? Oh, comes right. I was so excited that it was working.
Wiggle the little thing.
I even tested it.
The arrow's not working either.
Do you want to click on it, maybe? If you click on it someplace. There we go. Okay. I can go back. All right.
Okay.
This is working now, I think.
All right.
So just a quick overview of the process is we did focus groups with all constituents. We had students, parents, guardians, Chamber of Commerce, business people, community members, et cetera, like everybody that we could get, we were doing focus groups with staff. We had surveys that went out. We tried to honor prior work, which I really emphasized. There was a lot of really good work already done. So if something was showing up in the 3 previous versions, it stayed. There was no reason to reinvent that part of the wheel. We did a lot of best practice research on planning and vision and analysis and evaluation of the data. After that, I did follow-up meetings at every school to talk about where we were and to try and refine the information. And then our leadership team brought it over the finish line by doing the final organization and review. So thank you to the leadership team too. Kevin and Kim will probably tell you it was so much fun.
Memorable.
Yes. The main components that you're going to see is we have our mission, which is our purpose. That's our North Star. Our visions are the compass that we can get there. We have a vision of a graduate and a vision of instruction. And then our strategic plan is quite literally our roadmap of how we're going to get there. So the mission was not changed. This has been the RSD 13 mission. Through engagement and authentic learning experiences, all regional school district 13 students are empowered to thrive and contribute as global citizens. When we go into the vision of a graduate, just so everybody's working from a common definition of what this vision is, the vision of a graduate is our promise to students, families, and the community about the knowledge, skills, and attributes each student will develop. When we talk about the vision of instruction, that is our commitment as educators to provide the learning experiences that make that promise possible. And then this is too small for me to go into detail now, but and actually the visual will be much different when it's final because we'll actually have somebody to put it all together. These are obviously AI until this is approved. But if we look at this, our vision of instruction are the 5 elements that are our commitment to what we will provide students. And that is the instruction that we will provide will be rigorous, authentic, responsive, inclusive, and coherent. And then underneath that, the vision of a graduate came out really nicely in this concept of a tree. So as you heard just now, the core ethical values in all of my focus groups, in all of the survey responses, the core ethical values are still alive and well. They are still a strong belief in the community. So those are the roots of everything. And when you go up to the trunk where we get kind of to the hard work that we're going to do, we combine the essential attributes of who we expect students to be and the durable skills, which is what we want them to know and be able to do. And then when all of that combines, we have these 5 core competencies, which are the branches. And then those branches mean that every student, and this isn't they will be these things by the time they leave. This means that if you're in preschool or if you are in MTA in transition, every year, everything you do will be leading towards being a growth-oriented learner, an innovative solution seeker, a responsive and self-directed navigator, a conscientious community champion, and a purposeful communicator and collaborator. There's detailed definitions up there, but you have it and the public will have it. So I don't need to read all of those details, but they describe those. And in addition, in the other planning document, we have this in very elementary friendly language and more complex language for the secondary students. So we want this to be able to transfer easily to every grade level.
We can see our 3rd graders are already engaged in some of these things.
Yes. We will choose one of these to start with next year, and the one that was absolutely first and foremost leading all of the data was growth-oriented learner. So I will just go into that one where there's expectation from staff, from the students themselves, from parents and community members that what we really need to focus on first is embracing productive struggle, okay, that grit kind of element, and increasing complexity with curiosity and resilience, mastering the art of learning to learn and lifelong growth. So we have this idea that next year, what we're going to be diving into is that idea that we can do hard things and we can push through. That productive struggle idea came through everywhere. And then the final component of this is the strategic plan, which is the roadmap to over the next 5 years. If you look at the top 4, those are the 4 pillars that will be constant, I would imagine, in every strategic plan. And so in 5 years from now, when we're doing this again, you'll see those 4 elements on top of climate and culture, community connections, student achievement, and resources. And then there are 2 rotating goals underneath, which are pathways, which is going to be specific to looking very carefully at the high school. We've talked a lot about that in some of our policy committees, is looking at pathways in the high school. And then, of course, making a really successful and smooth transition into 3 Oaks Memorial School. And then the philosophy of our strategic plan has been to think big, act small, and learn fast. So we really believe that we need to have those big concepts and great goals. But the way we get there are really meaningful small steps along the way. So when you look at the strategic plan, it's going to look like a lot. Do you mind just clicking on the link? And I'm not going to take you through the whole thing. It'll look like a lot when you first look at it, but we really believe that small steps is what's going to get us all the way there. It what?
It is a lot.
It is a lot, but it's good. We need a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's very carefully, you can go to each tab on the bottom. And again, this is going to be available to the public. So everybody will be able to go into this spreadsheet and look at the goals, and you can see all of them. You can look at them by year. You can click 2027 and see what the focus areas are for that year. You can click 2030, see what's coming next. And again, when I put the leadership team to work in the organization and seeing it through, we very carefully sequenced all of the objectives so that anything that needed to build from one to the next did so very strategically. And also that we had a column where we checked who is the main administrator, is the point person for that goal and objective, and then which like staff area is going to be targeted. So then we could sort and say, ooh, in 2027, there's too much on the high school teachers. We need to space it out. We need to move this ahead a year or two, right? So we were really careful about setting ourselves up for success so that no one group, no one objective or one goal is so heavy in any given year that it's just not going to be possible. And that's it. So this will go out as a draft. It's already out to all of you for feedback. It's going to go out to the entire community. I'll do a couple of videos. I got some positive responses on the video from last week, so I'll do a video about this. And then I haven't heard anything horrible about the video yet. So if you did hear something, don't tell me. And then I'll put those out, and then we want to get a lot of feedback. And then my plan would be that the board has more time in July to look at this and to really discuss it and do some revisions before final adoption.
Try to adopt by August.
That would be great. You know, I mean, I think even in July, if you're ready.
Everybody had a chance to read it.
Just because the first step will be, I mean, we know that there's going to be revisions to this, like we know that there's going to be some changes, but if we can adopt in July, then in August, we can all start with like real SMART goals for what the first steps are next year. We can like get our planning ready to have a really good launch.
So you have some homework. But it's easy to read once you set it up on the format. You can skip through it pretty quickly. But there's an awful lot there.
And I'll reiterate what I sent in the email to everybody who worked on it. It's having conversations like this that I thought being on the board was gonna be, what I hoped being on the board was gonna be. And I'm thrilled that it's actually happening. So thank you.
Very impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think people are just going to, I know for a fact that people are going to feel so much more comfort and calm when it's like, we're not trying to do absolutely everything. We can say, this is our focus this year. And oh, there's that, but you know what? We're going to wait, and that's okay, because we need to do this first. Like, I think people are probably pretty hungry for that. And I don't know if Kevin or Kim want to chime in on any part of the process. They were a very important part of it.
I always appreciate being the director of finance. I don't always get looped into the academic part and curriculum, and that's not the case here whatsoever. I feel like a valued member of the team, and oftentimes I can contribute something from a business perspective. And sometimes then I just defer to the educational professionals, but it was really rewarding opportunity. And you come to work and your end user is the student, and that just keeps it in your mind, because I don't see them every single day, but I know that that's why I come to work.
Yeah, and I think the strength of this plan is just the level of input that was taken to create the plan. And I think many stakeholders were involved and had a voice in this plan. And if you have a lot of stakeholders providing input, you're going to have a successful plan, because people are truly behind this plan. I think all facets of the school district and the community per se see this as the finished product, and it's a great roadmap to lead us into the future. So I think it's an exceptional plan. I think the process was exemplary, and I look forward to great things as part of the outcome of the strategic plan.
I think it followed Sydney's tagline, think big, act small, learn fast. And that's what we did this year. The administrative team.
Reflection all the time too. It just what works, what doesn't, so on. I was particularly impressed going back in a few months, maybe how long ago was it? When you had a slide about cultivating the land, and that just brought it. When I saw that, I was like, that is, but it's genuine and it's real, and I love that.
Yeah, it's about that stewardship. We're really looking at the whole community.
It'd be interesting to see if we get community response to it. So I think the video will be good.
Yeah.
To get people to say, let's look at this and see what they say. Because, that seemed to have a good response and hopefully, people will watch another one.
Mhm.
So it's great.
And I want to, I'll put it out everywhere, but I want to make sure I send it directly to everybody who volunteered for a focus group because they're really invested in it. So I think they'll really want to take a look to see the end
Do you know how
result.
many people were in the focus group? You had a lot.
So
of
I had
meetings.
21 focus groups and there were probably an average of 12 in each.
Wow. Yeah.
Lots of input, good input.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I bought the students pizza, of course.
That's been Dulce good piece.
Just a logistical question.
Mhm.
So the new member from Middlefield, Tim Vians, you met him. Does he have access to this now? Is he gonna have an email account set up pretty soon?
So this was.
Because his first meeting technically isn't until
Right.
July.
This was kind of the reveal, right? So after this, the link just goes public, right? So anybody who goes into the board packet and then we send it out and they'll this will be a public document.
The full spreadsheet will be public too?
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I can't access it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you needed permission originally, so.
Well, it went to the board, so I don't
I'm
know.
on the wrong email, I think.
Yeah, if you're with your RSD 13 email, you should be able to get in.
Nope, still not.
Okay, let me check it. Okay.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Well, it's too bad we don't start every first hour of a meeting like this.
Sure.
But thank you for everything. Thank everybody for coming. Now it's time for public comment. Any online public comment?
If you are online and if you would like to, we have Dennis Bohm. Dennis, you should be good to go.
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Can't see you.
Hi, neighbor.
Hi, how are you? I'm not sure what's going on with the camera, but I guess I'll just jump into it. So I wanted to come to you guys tonight. I'm a resident of Durham. My son's Orion. He's turning 5 in October, and we recently did the early kindergarten admission test.
I'm sorry, we don't talk about students'
names.
We don't use student names during
no
public
names?
comment. No.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
well, can I just say my son then, I guess?
Yeah, that's
Um,
okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, so he didn't make it. So initially I said, oh, well, we didn't make it. And, I started talking with other families, at Dolphin Days, Cub Scouts, Little League or whatever. And the story was the same. Oh, my son didn't make it either. So-and-so didn't make it. And rumors started flying around that nobody had made it through the process at all. So that sort of raised my curiosity a little bit because you would think at least some of the kids would make it. So I reached out to Deborah Murray and I asked her for some information, specifically like what was the standard that they had to meet and how did we actually set that standard? And then how many children, passed or failed or were actually admitted. She wouldn't, she cited privacy concerns. I said, I don't want any PII, nothing like that. I just want to know how many children passed and how many failed. So I could kind of get a feel for, where, because if nobody indeed passed, then it raises a question, are we setting a standard that's unrealistically high and unachievable? And I do know, I asked her, is there a written policy on it? And she said that all we really have, it's just a procedural guideline rather than board adopted policy. So I don't know how much thought went into this guideline. But it's something I would really like to look into because if none of the kids were admitted, and I can't confirm that because I can't get the real information. If none of the kids were admitted, it makes me question whether we're maybe not doing this right. And it's putting a lot of burden on local families having to stay in Dolphin Days for another year. And then there's second and third order effects of that with, of course, MCC unfortunately closing our community and making that Dolphin Days list even higher when I think that, my child certainly is ready. And I think there's a lot of other children out there that were ready that maybe didn't get a fair shake at the process. So I don't know if there's anything that we could look at or anything we could do to review the process to see if it was actually administered correctly. I leave that in the board's hands.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else online with public comment? No, seeing none.
All right,
I think coming up for this year, yeah.
I thought the state said it was September first.
Now, as in 2027, so we still do a screening for early entrance to kindergarten.
We're still screening each year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. My misunderstanding.
right, thing on this item is approval of minutes of 3 board meetings. To have a motion to approve all 3.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments on any of them? I didn't get through the last one. But any comments? If not,
No.
any motion to, all in favor of approving the board minutes of May 4th, May 11th, and May 13th?
Aye.
Aye. Any others? Thank you. Next item is number 6, superintendent's report.
Again, mostly, as I usually do, most of my report is either part of the meeting. I'll just do a couple of highlights, is that I loved the Go Baby Go demonstration at the middle school. That was my first time seeing that, thanks to Mr. Mongillo and his students and the staff. That was just an amazing day. I assume he does it every year, so if you have a chance, you should definitely make sure that's on your calendar next year.
Sometimes it's twice.
Is it?
Sometimes.
For
It
each-
really was awesome.
It was
Like, I definitely
fantastic.
recommend
Yeah.
anyone really go into it. It was really, he did a great job with the kids.
Just congratulations for some of our America 250 winners. Well, we worked with Middlefield in the America 250 contest. So we have essay winners, grade 5, Aviana Demers, grade 6, Kaya Ayat, grade 7 and 8, Ainsley Ulstad, and the special award to Caitlin Burrett for the essays. And then the art winners at Brewster were Aria Gore in kindergarten. And at John Lyman, we had Evelyn Chapman, grade 4. So I was just really pleased to know that they received 16 essays from the Strong School and 61 pieces of artwork from Lyman and Brewster. It was a really nice, totally voluntary, but a just really nice contribution and good project in collaboration with the town. We did the high school survey that we talked about, and so we just got some good initial information. We had about a 40% response rate, which from those 40%, the top considerations were academic preparation for a 4-year college, safe, supported, and well-rounded school, course offerings such as AP electives and extracurricular activities for athletics and clubs. Those were the top considerations for high school choice. And then in terms of anticipated high school choice from those 40% of 6th and 7th grade parents, 71% Cog and Chog, 11% Vinyl Tech, 11% private, 5% undecided, and 2% magnet. So it's just some good information, initial information to go on.
Pretty consistent, I think.
Yes. Mhm. In terms of finance, I just wanted to highlight that next Wednesday will be a big night and we need a quorum for the joint board and building committee. And then afterwards, obviously, we have our next, do I call it an annual? We have our next annual meeting for this district meeting. District, okay. Yep. And then just final board updates. We need to pick a time over the summer to have our second meeting with Jack and Mary from CABE. And then we still have a vacant seat from Middlefield on the Board of Education. I haven't heard anything about that. And then I did receive the regular construction update that I won't read to you, but I hope that you are all seeing those online. All the construction updates are going online and we did send a QR code to construction updates to the Middlefield for their newsletter that went out. And we also added a QR code for how to sign up for Parent Square for any community member. So we're trying to push that out for communications.
Just going off I know that there's a vacancy in Middlefield. And I think sometimes we maybe have some attendance issues with the board currently. And going into the summer, we might just want to make sure before some of the meetings, we do have a quorum. I hate to get here and there's like 5 of us, when we could have been at the beach having happy hour,
Next Wednesday is definitely an important forum night.
Yeah. So we probably would want to make sure, I'm just thinking summer vacations.
And the district meetings at 7.
7, and then the joint meeting is at 6, right? Is it 5, 6, 7?
The.
Building
phase-
committee 5, joint building board at 6, or is it all at 5?
Yeah, 5.
5.
Four,
Policy meeting as well.
four.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here, I think, what time are the meetings again?
We'll order in.
Four.
4,
4, 5, 6, 7.
4, 5, 6, and 7?
7 is the district meeting.
4, 5, 7.
Okay, well, you know, the first all-star softball game is Wednesday.
I think there's a basketball game you're interested in this evening.
But yes, this evening, and let's not hope we get to next week
Yes.
about that, so. Okay.
Hey, thanks, Sydney.
Thank you.
Chairman's update. Thank you all for the budget meeting Monday night. Struggled, but I think, we'll see. Hopefully, everybody will support it and, you know, I think all of us would like to be moving forward with the original budget. And Mark is assigned to figure out how do we raise the budget next year and try to figure out what we want to add and how do we go about doing it and how do we sell it over the next fall. And I think that's really, and I think tied to the strategic plan, tied to some of these things and saying, this is where we need to be. And this is what it's gonna cost. And I think we have to present that before we get a budget. What's the issues and tied to the strategic plan. And, you know, I've been thinking a lot about how do we make people understand that the school system is the community. And we need to encourage those, you know, people to engage. You see these, you know, third graders here, they're ready to understand what the community is about, and we need to make sure that we provide the best for them in the future and focus in on how to get there. So I know Mark's gonna take the lead on that.
Piece of cake.
Huh?
Changing hearts and minds, always the easy part. Well, I will say that there's some vote yes signs up in
Yeah.
Middlefield. I saw them on my way here and there this today, so that's nice.
Some at HK too.
Maybe some HK are gonna disappear and end up in Middlefield.
But if I might add, the biggest piece to that is the communication, not to the parents, because the parents do have a good avenue. It's being able to communicate with the rest of the community. Durham does send out a lot of notices to people. My husband gets them all the time. When there's an agenda that's put out, when they have anything going on, they send it out as an email. So, which is a lot easier, I think, than actually trying to navigate Parent Square. I've had a hard time with it, but you know, I don't know. We just have to really look at multiple ways to get communication out to the remainder of the community. Because then all that information that we're talking about, we need to get out there, we'll get out there. We did get an email.
We just, like, the board is done with the communication part,
Yeah.
but we do have the mailer that is going out, you know, with the explanatory text.
Yeah.
And I do think the video,
Yeah.
and I think the FAQ that's what was on it, right? I think that was actually super helpful as well, because it was just question, answer. It was like super clear. So maybe kind of just like more of those, like, I mean, I think with like anything, like you just said, like with the strategic, you know, the purpose, vision and planning, the draft, like, you know, doing another video.
Yeah.
I think it was very well received. So it's a nice another little avenue. And then that can go out to different groups for them to distribute as well. I mean, I did it on my end, like to different groups. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we ended up with 47 or 8.
Emails, yeah, it was
Yeah.
48, I think. It was 44.
3 were negative. But basically all of them were supportive of moving forward.
Yeah.
And again, the scholarship night was great the other night. I don't know how many thousands of dollars that were given out, but normally it's around 150,000 or so, $120,000. I had kids at Martha's Vineyard and they for somehow get close to $8 million, and they have a little more to withdraw from, but they have an incredible amount of money goes out to scholarships out there. Graduation is Friday. I think you've all been invited to come. If you're gonna come, there's a robe there for you. if you have your own road, you can have your own road.
Yes, you do.
I don't know. Mark and, Nick, are you gonna try?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hot.
I was gonna say, I don't know about fun.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Said no, sir.
Yeah, I guess if it's raining or something, it might be switched
The
inside.
weather's gonna be fine.
It looks like it's gonna be cloudy and.
Out there, Bob.
Huh?
Don't look at it.
Oh, yeah, my first.
No. Be up there.
That was my second daughter's graduation. Yeah.
Okay.
it was
The rain will help if it's out there. And again, the high school did the parade at All Home Day. We did have, I did have an interesting conversation with Bobby Armentino about animosity against Middlefield and against the board, from Middlefield.
Strength.
And, so I talked to him for quite a while. I'm sure we can have lots of discussions on it, but I think it was focused. He indicates it was focused on the budget, on the name, and in general feeling that Durham has more than Middlefield, but I don't know why.
Well, which again, I always push back on that because Middlefield being the little sibling actually can hold up everything, right? Even with, so Middlefield has a disproportionate amount of power, as opposed to being bullied by Durham because of the way the charter is set up. Middlefield can stop things when if a majority of votes vote a certain way, but not everyone in Middlefield doesn't pass it, they can stop something, and that doesn't feel democratic to me.
And Middlefield members attend. And we have a number of
It's a good point.
Durham,
Right.
Middlefield, Durham members who don't seem to attend very often.
Yeah. So our vote here is even more
Yeah, yeah.
outweighed because
Anyway, so that was kind of an odd conversation, but I think it's related. Yeah, there are.
I mean,
Yeah.
right?
We do have a meeting scheduled, Monday morning about the building fees with the attorneys.
Hallelujah.
Yeah,
Okay.
will be filling.
Like some candles, some sage, I don't know,
Exactly.
that stuff, whatever
save
it
the
is.
stage for after, I think,
Yeah.
probably, but.
That's a good point.
The next is Kim.
Okay, so we ended the month of May, now that we're into June, we ended the month of May with year to date, 85% of the general fund expended, 99.5% encumbered, and we have received 93% of our revenue, which is great.
Nice.
And we are closing out purchase orders and encumbrances every single day as we're getting closer. We don't roll any over into the new year, so by the time most of the staff leaves at the end of June into early July, we'll have a better idea of any kind of, we won't have any deficit, but if there's any kind of, I don't like to say the word surplus because that assumes that we have extra money. But if there's been budget lines that have been underexpended, that goes into the fund balance for future years. Or there's a couple other options, but I won't know that number until for sure.
Can you give us the final number on the budget just for the meeting record tonight? Oh, never mind. I wrote it down.
I was gonna say, actually,
Yeah.
a lot of.
969,
I know.
710 is what comes to my mind.
Yeah.
43,969,710. That's the
Okay.
gross number.
Wow. How many digits of pi can you do?
I need a calculator.
Thanks, Kim.
Confirm that while you guys are.
Thank you
it was
for
wrong.
thanks for all your work on the budget. Next item is new business. The first one is a class gift. Liam.
Yes.
Liam is last year's graduate.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Patiently.
Well, it's great to be back. Unless they.
How was your first year in school?
It was great. It was a good time. Yeah, UConn's definitely an adjustment from small school like this, but I made the most of it, I think, and I had an absolutely fantastic time. Hung out with Luke a lot. That was a lot of fun. Went to a few basketball games with him. That was always a good time. But yeah, it was a great first year.
You didn't get to be manager of the team yet, though.
No, not yet. No.
You can apply to do that.
I know. I really want to. I keep looking out for posts, but I don't see anything. I think they're gatekeeping it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to keep it on.
He was the manager of the basketball team last
Yeah. But yeah. So.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So as some of you know, I don't know if everyone knows, but the class of 2025 last year, our class gift was to essentially, we proposed to revamp the existing welcoming sign that's over by the main entrance, I would say, where all the buses flow through to drop off kids. And we were hoping that basically the new sign itself was primarily going to maintain the same exact general layout as the current one. The only thing we're really changing is the structure of the sign. So we were proposing that we would have 2 stone pillars, and essentially and then we were going to refurbish the current sign. And the only thing we were going to update was just the coloring and then the class donation line, which we were hoping to include both the class of 1994 and the class of 2025. Obviously, I know some people were wondering about, the respect for the class of 1994, and we fully acknowledge that and respect that current sign was a gift from them. And our council at the time agreed fully that the new sign will include both classes to honor their original contribution. And we think this approach really preserves the tradition for the sign while also updating it for modern needs and aesthetics. And I think also just in general, I think including both classes really just shows unity across generations and not really so much replacement as I know some people have been fearing. And that's not at all our intention. And in terms of the sign itself, again, we were hoping that it would stay in its current location. I know some have also offered moving or kind of relocating our sign. And we kind of hope that, again, we keep it where it currently is, because it's a spot that is highly visible to students, families, visitors, faculty, and other. And it also has historical significance as that's the original placement chosen by the class of 1994. And I think moving it will really just diminish the symbolic continuity between the 2 class gifts. So, in terms of, structural features and all those details and construction installation process, we have the proposal from Torsen Stone. So I think if anyone would like to have it, I'd be more than happy to send it
The
over.
board did get to see it.
Oh, you guys
Got to
did?
see the
Okay,
visual.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So
It didn't have 94 on it at the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I think the only thing though is that I did read it. I did double check it again. I think we do have to get a new proposal because I think it said in their fine print that it expires after 30 days. So we will have to go back and get another one, but it'll be the exact same. The rendering itself that's there, it does have a little bit of it needs a little bit correcting because it also says for the class donation line, it says class of 2026, not 2025.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, we need to include 1994 as well. So that's essentially what we have. And then if there's any questions, please feel free.
Yeah, the only thing the board had at the last time was the removal of a previous gift and the location of this one. And whether or not, I think the suggestion that came was, should we put it by the gazebo where people can take pictures and have stuff after events and graduation? That was the primary discussion, is not removing a previous gift. But I think I kind of like your idea of combining the sign. Their sign is mostly wood, I think, and I forget what the side pillars are.
I thought they
I think
didn't
it's
want
just
their
color.
sign changed. I thought you said you spoke to somebody about that. No?
Well, I spoke to somebody from other class and said they would be concerned about having their sign changed, but if it's included, maybe that's different.
Right. And again, if I may, I'd like to reiterate that we're keeping the exact same sign. Like the wood sign itself is staying. The only real difference is really just those structural pillars on the side. And then the fact that, yeah, we're gonna
You're gonna
change
add
like, right, but the font, everything that's on there is all the same. The wood itself is going to be the same. They're just, Torres and Stone's just refurbishing the whole thing just to make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit newer. But everything is gonna be exactly the same as it is on current.
That does be a great
Yeah,
solution to
yeah,
do. I mean,
yeah.
I think that
I like
it honors 94. And like you said, you're not replacing it, you're adding to it.
Right.
Right? So.
Yeah.
Actually, I think this solution, well done.
Do we need to find somebody from 94?
Jamie probably knows somebody.
What?
Oh,
no, absolutely.
Look, I graduated in 85. That's a compliment to me.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I think Luke's mother graduated in 92. So she wouldn't help.
I do like the idea because I think, also I think I'm sure what sometimes happens with some of these gifts is they might deteriorate over time. So I actually feel like the solution does actually honor them by still upholding their gift and giving it a little facelift so it lasts.
Giving it more life, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Anybody, other thoughts?
I just wanted, Luke, we had been talking back and forth, the email, and he's been very respectful, responsive, great. Well thought out, well spoken here, and like it's an act of respect more than wanting to replace anything.
Yeah.
Just my 2 cents.
You might find that years in the future, after the sign has been refurbished and upgraded a little bit.
That's a
that
2051.
class- Yeah, maybe, 20 years, 10, 15 years from now, they'll look at it and say, well, gee, it needs a little bit of a facelift.
And what they'll do is they'll put a little awning over it.
Well, I
Refurbish it so that it doesn't
I'll
erode.
stay on the record, for that class, they're totally fine by me. If they wanna pull this video back later, if they're having, I'm all for it. Totally fine by
You
me.
set it in good standard.
Whatever they like, as
Yeah.
long as they keep class of 25, that's all. I'm nice.
And 94. Protocol.
Yeah, 94.
And 94, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I think we're supposed to, vote on that, the class gift. So, of a motion to accept the class gift from the class of 2025,
So moved.
have a second,
Second.
any comments? Thank you for your persistence and all your work, pretty typical of Liam. And, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Good night.
Yeah,
Nice job.
thanks for waiting.
Good going, yeah.
For the summer.
Next is item B, employee resolution procedure.
So, we did one of these at the very beginning of the year for community, parents, guardians, et cetera, and it's been actually, I think, working really well. People have been having more direct conversations, working on problem solving at the most direct level. And so this one is the version that has been adapted for employees. So this would be in the employee resolution procedure. I did an initial draft, met with all union heads and Mr. Bro to go over it. The unions went over it with all of their constituents, and then we revised it again. It went out again, we met again. So it's been very thorough, and we are ready to put it forward for approval.
And where would it go in the handbook? Or will we go somewhere?
Right now, it lives in your policy page, so we have the regular one on top, and then this one would be in there, and then this one would also be part of the employee handbook.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my sense of employees need to see it
Right.
in our policies.
Right, well, it should be both, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, the policy.
But it is, I mean, this is something I really strongly believe in, is people talking to each other again. And then also knowing what the next step is if something still isn't working out, and redirecting. Sometimes I think people aren't always used to that, but it's actually, I think, very positive and working well in the instances where we have used it.
Any other comments?
But just a question, and I assume, because I see principle 3, the union is cool with how this aligns to Both unions, do they, with how it aligns to
All five
All
unions.
five unions,
Yeah,
guys,
all went through it, yep.
hot diggity dog.
So we revised, everything that they wanted revised.
Nice.
I mean, I think it's a good thing to have it written down. I know that some people may have problems, but it's important for them to talk to each other.
Mm.
And the way to solve issues is to deal with it face to face. So we need to adopt this
We do.
as a
As a regulation. And I know you usually don't, but you did with the other one, so I think you should with this one.
all right, I have a motion to adopt the school district resolution procedure for all RSD 13 staff.
So moved.
I'll
Second. Any other comments? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next is action regarding the ratification of RSD 13 nurses. This says 27 to 29. Meg said it should be 26 to 29 tentative agreement. And then you want to go over that?
Kevin's gonna go over.
Kevin?
Yes, so for about the last 4 weeks, we've been engaged in negotiations with the nurses, bargaining unit. I think it's been a good process. I think it's been a reasonable process. I think both parties heard each other. And I think we were fortunate enough, last week, to come to an agreement. The new contract has been ratified by the nurses bargaining unit. And we're waiting, approval and ratification of the school nurses bargaining unit from the board this evening. I think most of them got a summary of the negotiations. So just to go through, basically it's a 3-year agreement. We have the insurance cost share, differentiated by years. For 26-27, it remains at 15%. The following year, it jumps up 0.25% to 15.25. The final year of the contract, 28-29, it increases to 15.50. We did go through some language that I think is mutually beneficial to both the nurses and to us. I think it makes the language a bit more clearer and efficient. So, from my perspective, and I think the board's perspective, it's a clearer document. In terms of major changes, we have 51 pool days. We've slightly increased the daily stipend, based on the rate of increase, on an annual basis, for the GWI. So basically it would go up, about $8 per hour. Also another change, hourly wage for additional hours outside of the regular work, would result in an additional $60 stipend, after 4 hours. So we thought that was reasonable. I think the nurses were appreciative of that. And basically to summarize the salary, a step increase, 1.5%. GWI increased to 2% through, steps 1 through 11. And step 12 is a 3% increase. And one of the things that they requested was to add steps, and we chose not to add steps. So I think, from our perspective, that was a positive result of our negotiations. And, I think we have a good contract. I think it's reasonable. I think both sides feel good, upon, the tentative agreement. And, I'd like the board to move forward, to approve the contract. So we can have a new contract in place for our school nurses.
This was also unanimously approved by the nurses.
Have a motion to approve the contract?
So moved.
In a second,
Second.
any discussion? What's the 51 pool days? I forgot.
So during the summertime, they spend days in the summer, Bob. They will take medications. They transition student records from one building to the next building. So really important stuff happens on those days, to prepare for the upcoming school year. So a lot of medical information is transferred, and all of that in an effort to get ready for that first day of school.
Thank you. Any other comments? Lucy did the work on it.
I was just gonna say, I want to thank Lucy and Bob
Well, I kind
for their
of
work.
I missed a lot of it.
Negotiations. It was much appreciated. And, they provided some valuable perspective, to the negotiation. So, their presence and input was greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The next is to approve new cognitive course, cultural cooking. And the student achievement had a great deal of discussion on this, and Lucy or Linda, you wanna talk about it quick?
Right, I believe you have a copy of the scope and sequence that you should have available. We also have copies of individual unit plans, with essential questions and outcomes and standards and, learning plans. So it's a quite detailed curriculum. And this was presented by the high school. They would like to start this in the fall, and we took a look at it, and we did have some discussion. So Spanish through cultural cooking. I believe it is also open, not just open to Spanish students, but also to students who are those who have not taken Spanish as a course, they can take this. So there will be some embedded Spanish language related to cooking. There's also going to be a collaboration between the Spanish teacher as well as the
Food science.
Food science.
Food service, the teacher as well. So they're gonna be combining. So it's pretty interesting, and it sounds like the students will be quite interested in this as well. A little bit different, but it even also includes some social studies because they're learning about the different areas. They have introduction to Hispanic cuisine, they have Mexican food. They have Spain, they're gonna go into Spain foods, Peru, Argentina, the Caribbean and Central America, Cuba and Afro-Caribbean, and then the Colombia. So they're really gonna be covering a lot of different areas.
Linda had some insight as
Linda did have.
to how it was not a language course.
It does
Yeah,
not
I mean,
fulfill
I've been resistant all along. The teachers who were there and BT Dubs, those of you who were here, I sent them emails afterwards about me being spicy. And then thanked them for, look, I believe in cross-curricular classes, right? That's what makes learning more relevant in so many ways. And they learned me something, and really just helped me get back to what I know I believe, right? So they did, a great job of allaying any hesitation that I had, so I do, support this class. I know you never thought you'd hear me say it.
Not at the beginning.
I was wondering what you were gonna say.
Well, that was actually gonna be my question so for kids who have learning disabilities and do not need to take a language, would this class suffice for the language requirement to graduate?
It would not fulfill a world language requirement.
How many cooking classes do we currently offer?
I don't know the exact number. I would have to look that up in the program of studies for what's on. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
usually, they're usually filled in a waiting list.
Yeah. And
But my
this
question
is
is, are they-
taught by a world language teacher.
Are some students IEP'd out of a world language requirement?
So if you have a learning disability, you do not have to take a language, but you still have to fulfill the 1 year language requirement, which is like typically like a history of Spain, type of class.
That bothers me more,
Because
Yeah,
I
maybe-
know,
because that's not a language class.
yeah, but
They
it's
should-
it's typically kids with dyslexia.
Right.
And things like that. So that's why I was asking to, because then they would have more offerings.
But I don't understand how if they're IEP'd out of a language requirement, they still have to take the credit.
They still, I guess it's the 1 year graduation credit. That's my understanding. I'm not an expert.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, but to me, it feels like if you get IEP'd out, you don't have to take it, then that waives that one.
Right.
That one credit for graduation.
It would.
And then I would say this is a good class for them to take because they're going,
Yes.
it's not gonna count as a language
Yeah.
class, but they're
Yeah.
embedding a lot of
There's
language in
language
it.
in there.
So it'll be very targeted. So if they ever go, they'll know how to order off of a menu and know what they like. I mean, I honestly, there's
And it'll
nothing
be
worse than
easy.
getting a fish with a head on it.
The language will be easier to remember because you've got food associated with it, so
Yeah.
they'll remember.
And culture, history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess my second question was, because I mean, which I think is great. I think it's just kind of what I've said a few times about like finding the balance at the high school of like, this seems like, seems like a great offering. I mean, I would like to be in that class. Like I totally see myself signing up for something like that. But it seems like we're adding, like, like a lot of different elective type courses instead of, I don't know, expanding more on like academics a bit.
So there was a global health course that we had an external partner that we did with it. And then there was something happened where that partner could not partner with us anymore.
That's
So
in Mexico, or that was in,
I don't know where it was, but it was a global health and and anyway, we can't offer that anymore. So this is kind of replacing that. So it's not really adding anything. It's just that we couldn't do that one anymore. And I know that a lot of our teachers we are looking very actively for engagement. And so the teachers are really working hard to offer classes that are going to engage students. This one was developed out of very high student interest, and it's already both sections are almost already full, if not full already.
I guess in the same vein of, this isn't a world language credit, at the top of the document it says subject Spanish. I don't know if that's like reflected in a course catalog or something.
It is, it's in the program of studies. And we thought about, we talked a lot about this, is having one section of the program of studies just for electives that couldn't apply to any of the other requirements. This would be the only one, right? Like literally the only one. And so it didn't make sense to move it to just be a singleton on a list.
Right.
So it's gonna go into the program of studies under Spanish, but then very clear language underneath that this doesn't fulfill a requirement.
That's good.
Every other elective that we offer could fill a requirement.
so do we have a motion to approve the course?
I'll do it. So moved.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Never knew what happened, did you?
Somebody said second, I heard.
I'll second it.
Alright.
Somebody else?
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
We'll be very happy.
Will they bring food here?
Yeah.
I think that should be a requirement.
That will be the first requirement.
Pencil that
Yeah.
in.
That's right.
We'll have to have the course only late afternoon, so it's warm when we get here at
I
night.
already mentioned that I want snacks and I was promised
Yes.
snacks, so
Maybe
it
the
better
budget
come.
retreat in January.
Mhm.
Yeah, be a good opportunity
The
for
BJ.
them to.
I almost made a comment about Linda saying she was spicy, but.
Ew, ew.
The next is, Kim awarded our QP 2026-003 materials testing and special instruction services.
So this is for Three Oaks Memorial School. And this is to approve, obviously, what Bob said, materials testing and special inspection services, which is just required of the construction. And this was not included in the construction budget, so we did a RFP. This is the second RFP results because the first we only got one bidder and we did not feel they were qualified, plus we need to have 3 for our state construction project. So we did go back out to bid and we did get one qualified, reputable, worked with our contractors before, and actually the price is lower. So, and this has been vetted and approved by the building committee as well. So if someone would like to read the motion, I have it here.
I think Nick wants to.
I say Nick's closest. I mean,
Motion to approve the award of RFQ/P 2026-004 materials testing and special inspection services for the Regional School District 13 School State Project number 213-0051 RNB/EA to IMTL with the base bid of $40,460.
I have a second.
Second.
Any comments?
I just have a question. You read 2026-004?
Yeah, I have to
Does
test
it-
that. That's what I had typed, but I'll make sure it's correct.
Oh, is it 3 or 4?
I don't know.
Kim's gonna check right now.
Oh, okay.
We've had so many, I'm just trying to think. Most recent was, it is 4. It is
It should be
so
4.
This is incorrect, and that was my mistake. I gave this language to Meg, so.
And you read 4, so we're
He
good,
read
Scott.
4, so we're
Okay.
good. No.
You read 4, okay. All right,
That's what happens
That's
when you
my only
copy
comment.
paste from the last motion.
just want to make sure we got the same thing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next is the award. Was that 1TB or ITB? ITB RSD 13M PH 3-003 3.04 masonry.
So this one again, what is for Three Oaks Memorial School? This is the masonry contractor that needed further scope review and wasn't in the original packet of contractors that you had approved. They have since been fully vetted and approved by the building committee. So this is just to award the contract to them. And I do have this number correct, Nick, so.
Motion to approve the award of the Regional School District 13 School State Project number 213-0051 RNV/EA ITB RSD 13 MPH 3-003.04 Masonry to AMI Boston Masonry/Restoration Incorporated with the base bid of $2,272,666.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Christine, policy review. First read.
So the first one is the FMLA 4151, and this was basically to revise for federal FMLA, Connecticut paid family FMLA, which are obviously 2 different things. They cover 2 different sets of staff. I actually learned this during policy. The federal FMLA covers our certified teachers. Everybody else falls underneath Connecticut FMLA. So that's the first read on that one. I mean, FMLA is very exciting.
Well, the change that the
Yeah.
state made.
Yeah.
Turned
And it
into
is-
excitement.
Yeah, and then I, do not envy Kevin at all and the central office staff it is a beast. I only know that from running the company myself. Do you want me to go into the other
Yeah.
ones too? Okay, religious
First read, yeah.
observations, that one I think came directly from Cave, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So there were some options there to pick like A or B, paragraphs. So we kind of went through that, just different things, various different religious observations, for students.
What do the
yeah.
highlighted?
The highlighted sections are,
Food.
things that I needed to talk to Mark Basil about what language would work for our food service. So that's the highlighted part under dietary requirements. And then under holidays, just to align with our handbook, we try to get knowledge in advance of absences. So that one's just sort of a request, please. It's always better for kids if we know in advance if they're gonna be out instead of catching up.
And this would be a new policy for us,
It would be new.
so we'd have to fit it in somewhere.
It would be in the 6,000s.
And then the live animals in schools, this is not a policy change. This was just a change to the regulations, for forms, for a therapy dog, classroom pet, educational shows that involve pets, like Bacon the pig. That's, it's
wrong. It's just so.
but this is really quite adorable.
This was just forms.
Yeah.
So that was just the forms.
Yeah.
Correct.
You had already approved the policy in the
Yes.
fall.
So those, we'll move on to the second read unless there's an objection.
Does anybody have any questions or suggestions or?
I thought they were pretty straightforward.
Yeah, my only comment, and if it came from Cave, that's fine. It's just, the religious observation one lists like 8 different.
Protected classes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the that's always ends up being
Different.
not inclusive.
Right.
Because, and it does say among others, or it-
Yeah.
including, but it's not limited to, but it also,
I did think about that. I was wondering if, I didn't just have to wordsmith it, but just we could say of all protected classes, right? And then if the law changes, or if anything, like that, it really is more universal.
I will say though, it does, the one that either gets left off or persecuted is the Rastafari, and it's in here, so
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
pretty
Mhm.
inclusive there.
Yeah.
All right, everybody's upset with going on at first read, second read? 15?
Oh, well, do I need to speak to it again? Hold on then.
Well, we've gone through it several
Oh, yeah.
times, but
Yes.
is there any other
Lucy
comment?
that really likes to be at the board meeting.
Yeah,
Yes, graduation requirements, that was the one that we added, like, the waiver and,
And then we took back
We
the
took it
waiver.
out.
the waiver, yep, so.
parentheses,
And now it's
And that.
notice will be given if students to families, if they are not taking 4 years, if they choose to take 3 years. The issue with taking out the waiver was there was an equity concern that we would be putting an undue burden on families. If they had to sign a waiver, it seemed, there did seem to be an equity issue there.
And this had come back to student achievement and back to
And
the
back
policy.
again.
Yep.
And then form and voting procedures, that was all language provided by Shippen.
Yeah, so the big change there was, as you probably recall in the fall, there was an issue with a statement that used to be in that policy that said, if somebody abstains, that vote counts towards the positive in a vote, and
Majority,
and that doesn't make any sense. So we just, got new language from Shipman to make sure that that is clarified.
hard to go with the majority when there's a tie.
Right.
So, anyway, those are of a motion to approve, those new policies changes.
Your committee.
The graduation requirements and the quorum and
Yeah.
voting procedures. Yes.
We have a second?
Second, I don't
No,
know.
you-
Did I move it? Was it, or did Lucy move it? Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know
I
which one of us did.
expected you moved it since you were the chair.
Okay.
Any other comments on those two? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, committee reports, school naming. You got a name.
We got a name.
Next.
Next.
Yep, got a name, and we will reconvene back in the fall to start work on, the rooms.
Great.
I just want to say that I officially told Mrs. Lucier to start stamping and barcoding books. 3 Oaks Memorial School, we're done.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Official.
He's very,
She is very
That'd
good.
be called chomping at the bit, but
Yeah.
get ready to go.
yeah.
building committee, we're getting close to the guaranteed maximum price. Anybody we've had a lot of discussions on getting the amount down to, so we don't exceed the $76 million, and we're there. We've cut out a number of alternates that we would like in order to get down there. The last meeting, we had quite a bit of discussion on the permit fee for Middlefield, and that debate goes on. And that's a very complicated and important debate. So, anything else on building? We had the groundbreaking. Huh?
No, I don't wanna come off like I have any animosity towards anything, so, just sit here in the corner.
All right,
Nobody puts Christina in the corner.
no. Policy committee, Christine, you have any other reports?
I don't think so, because at the last, on the May 21st
Yeah.
one, that's when we did the FMLA religious observations and animals in school, so, and we just did the first read of those, so don't.
Student achievement, short,
Okay, so I spent time putting together just a little bit of narrative and I left it home.
okay, so
So-
really short.
It was a 2-hour meeting.
It was a
Okay, I
doozy.
don't remember every little thing that was there. There's still no minutes,
Oh,
but
wow.
I just want to just go over, a lot of this stuff you've already received. For instance, one of the things we talked about was the graduation cohort data from the state of Connecticut. And we're gonna say of interest is that 92.5% of the Region 13 students graduated in 4 years. And that's a good number. The state average is 88.9%, just as a FYI. And it was broken down by gender, race, ethnicity, and program participation, but you have a copy of it. Curriculum, ACES audit presentation, and the curriculum work update was all kind of talked about together. You have received a copy of ACES audit presentation. I haven't been able to access it, and I sent a request to access it, so I don't know why I took it in.
From Rosie.
Yes.
Who presented?
Rosie.
Okay.
And it was extremely extensive. A lot was covered, but you have all that information. I would seriously ask that, you take a few minutes to read through the minutes when they come out, because there was just so much that was discussed. You've received a lot of the paperwork, but there's just so much has happened in the area of curriculum. The course approval we just did. The walkthrough data was a click on your agenda. And I think it's really important if you take a few seconds to go through it again, because it really dovetails nicely with what's going on with the strategic plan as you're talking about improving the curriculum, improving the classroom behaviors. And I just want to go over it just a little bit. I mean, they went through all the grade levels and all the content areas, but what was actually looked at was classroom culture. There's specific questions under each of the level of challenge that's going on in the classroom. These were just quick walkthroughs. They weren't evaluations. I'm not sure how many people went through. A couple people would just go in, walk in on a classroom and make the observations, what's going on in the classroom for maybe 5 minutes, and then they left. Instructional design. They looked at the purpose of the instruction that was going on, the student engagement, and the assessment for the students' learning. So, I mean, that just fits in completely with the direction that we're going in. The graduation policy, we just voted on that. The overview of PLCs, to be honest with you, I don't exactly remember what she had said at the time.
That was kind of a to be determined, because it's going to be a big part of our strategic plan next
So
year.
maybe that's why I don't remember, because it was just generic. The data review, the SAT data, you also received a copy of that in your report so that you could see what's happening with the scores in reading and in math. Reading seems to be holding its own. Math is still struggling to get back up there. The assessment inventory, I believe my understanding of this was that the state of Connecticut, you know how the school districts all do different assessments of students to see their achievement and make comparisons. I believe the state said they do not want us to use the state testing, like the SBACs and the SATs for achievement. That was my understanding.
Basically what they want to do, the purpose of this is to make sure that we're not over assessing.
Okay.
We don't want to test kids to death. So the idea is that they're trying to do this inventory so that the philosophy is that if you're giving an assessment, it's because you are actually going to use the data to inform instruction, that we're not just testing all the time.
And I skipped over the most important one, was the strategic plan. And Sydney gave us an overview of the strategic plan and
The student achievement
now we have-
section.
right, and student achievement. And now we actually have a copy of the whole plan was sent to all of us.
Thank you.
Not too bad for 2 hours.
And,
Pretty good.
go, Mr. Clement.
Yeah, so we, it's this year has kind of been like a shakeout cruise for this committee, because it's the first time, we've had it in this form because it's a state requirement. So we did what I think one of the biggest things that came out of the whole year is we just kind of talked about some of the pieces of data that directly apply in the area, but now how can we get that data and have it be operational? So that was another learning piece from this past meeting, because we got some attendance and tardy data that kind of needs to be disaggregated differently, right? I mean, you could probably explain better. how
Our
just-
data on attendance is really deceiving. It looks great. It's like, oh, 95% attendance, but the data is deceiving because in that example for one of our schools, there were 170 students who were absent for more than 10 days. So we,
127.
was it?
It was
100?
127.
Oh, I mixed up the
Yeah,
numbers, 127. It's still too many.
Right.
And, research is
Over
pretty clear
10
that
days.
over 10 days for a teacher absence or a student absence, instruction is affected. So we really need to dive deeper into that data to see how many kids are missing more than 10 days and make sure that we don't say, oh, 95 sounds great.
Right.
Yeah.
My analogy for that is always, if you take 100 kids on a field trip and come back with 95, you're gonna be in trouble. And then we did talk about challenging behaviors. Again, the definition and that process is new this year. And we're looking at how can we disaggregate the data to really kind of get, like so many, how can we make the referrals be as unsubjective as possible? Can't make it unsubjective because humans are involved. However, how can we work on consistent definitions on what is insubordination? What one teacher considers insubordination and kicks a kid out of class for, another teacher will give a look like this and move on.
How does that look?
It's a pretty good one. That's one of them. And so we talked a lot about that. We did have some time, because I ran a tight meeting. But we had a significant amount of time, like 15 or 20 minutes, to look at sample surveys that people use for their culture and climate survey. We have a subcommittee that's going to get together to create the survey that we'll be giving out every other year, and on the off year,
DMYFS.
Thank you. Will be doing their survey. So by the end of I would say by the end of the first semester, we'll have our survey that we bring to y'all for feedback and input. And that was all she wrote.
Thank you.
Yours was 5 minus 3.
Board, communications, anything that we haven't talked about?
Well, the 47 emails about the budget, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I was basically, I can send you my comments, but I was getting tired. But basically, they're all the same. But thank you. We did a great job. We'll consider your stuff at the meeting. And I didn't say anything else. I did have one from a couple, Joanne.
Yep.
Who says gonna vote no because we lack transparency and communication. So I asked to have her come and have a meeting and she basically said no. So I was considering asking her again what transparency means and communication, but I don't think it'll generate anything else, but I did ask her to come to a meeting and I would be happy to sit down and talk about it because I think transparency means we didn't vote for what you wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. I think what was really helpful with some of the emails we did get was that there were very good suggestions.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
reasoning on why they did or did not support something instead of, listen, I value every email that we get, but when you send a general blanket statement of, I'm voting no because there's no transparency, like to your point, Bob, like I would genuinely want to know why. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
What
how
do you
can
mean
we
by
make
that?
that better for you? Like,
That's what I was trying to do.
you know, like Mark, Nick and I, like we went to the Durham Dem meeting and I said, like, how can we make the communication better? Because there were some people, you know, who were complaining of like, well, I don't understand Parent Square, or I can't find YouTube. So I was like, okay, well, like, how would that, you know, we got some feedback, but you know, so that's what the only thing I would say to like the public, you know, is like, it is very important, like, we're open to suggestions, like, please, like, if this
Especially
is
at the-
not transparent, like, I want to know.
We were flying blind on the second budget, right? Because we didn't hear anything from anybody.
Yeah.
So we
One
had
person.
no, right?
And Rick came and didn't say anything.
Yeah. Right. And so
That was a first.
So it was, we couldn't, address what their concerns were.
Yeah. And so it is helpful. So, and, you know, any person I've spoken to about the budget who gave feedback, I've always ended with, please continue this level of involvement with anything you're passionate about, like we want to know.
If I might add, when we receive emails, if all of us get the emails, then at least we're all aware of what issue or concern might be brought up. And just if you let us know that you responded instead of like, to send us 38 responses, 40 some, that would have been a lot.
Meetings.
But if we're not copied on it, then.
You got everything I
we
got.
need to see the email so we know what's going on, unless it's really personal, that's it. Or private, whatever.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
you know, I know some people responded themselves, but again, you're supposed to respond through the chairman, but I know if you know them personally, fine. If you know, if I, just tell me that you did it, so we know that everybody is being consistent. And all of us.
Bob always responds, because he'll copy me on the response.
Yeah.
And then what I do is, we always talk to each other. Bob will always respond, and then if there was something that was actually just completely wrong, I would clarify a fact. So that was kind of like my part of it.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I know for me, at least this go around, I mean, I did tell you when I spoke over the weekend that I was trying to respond to everybody, but just in a very general sense of thank you for emailing your feedback. We really appreciate it. Please keep it coming. Like,
Those are
really
important.
keep that. Yeah, just because I wanted people to like feel acknowledged, like by as many of us as they possibly could, to just continue the momentum.
It was a really special event to have all those people talk.
Yeah.
I mean, that was critical. Hopefully they follow through and vote. But that was really,
And bring 10 friends.
yeah, even two.
Yeah.
And 355 people on that petition. If they all bring one, we will win.
Yeah. And I think it's worth mentioning on the transparency front, you know, if we keep on having Sydney make talking head videos, if we want to put that on our plate or figure out a different system to get it out. I think that's also going to be huge. If we have a way to talk to whoever manages the RSD13 domain, we can add short links that just redirect immediately. So you can easily print those on any paper handouts. They just type in like 7 letters and they're loaded whatever video you want.
Any other comments? It would be good if you can talk to that guy that with the kindergarten or somebody.
We've already responded.
Okay. Any other public comment? Anybody online still hanging in there?
If you're online and you'd like to speak, just raise your hand.
There's nobody here, so we have an anticipated executive session to begin the superintendent's evaluation. Like to take a 5-minute break, and Linda has to set up some stuff. And I don't think we need anybody else here.
No, you're just gonna have, I just want to give you a reminder that you're just gonna have to, somebody's gonna have to do just a quick recording when you come out to adjourn the meeting. So we get the motion to adjourn in second and time.
And it doesn't have to be on Zoom, right? It's up to
No, you can just record it.
Yeah, Nick's gonna do a big BoE selfie.
These are the names.